Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rohit. Today we'll talk about the asset management. In the asset management, mainly we have two major topics called hardware asset management and the software asset management. Today we'll basically talk about the hardware management. So hardware asset management is a little bit lengthy, so I will split this topic to two videos. I hope you guys will be keeping in touch in these two videos. Also, if you like my video and if you like my content, please like, subscribe, and share this content to your colleagues. So, without wasting time, let's get started. So, in the asset management, we need to know that where our finance is mostly spending, like in asset, in which assets. Also, we should know that what asset you are actually owning, right? As a user, I could have multiple assets, but are we really using those assets? And even where those assets are located, how many assets are in stocks for my company? Like I need a 10 desktop for my employee, but how many in my stocks? 2 or 5 stocks are already there. I can utilize those for the timing, right? So in that, all those cases, we need the asset management basically. So in the hardware asset management, basically we need to install the asset management plugin. By default in your system, already it's there, the product catalog. If you don't install this asset management, these plugins, your procurement, your process will not be fully automated. In that case, you need to be manually work some of the stuffs. In the hardware asset management, what are the things very important? We are going to cover. One is the model category, product model, stock room, manual and automated procurement process, purchase order, transfer order, asset and sale mapping. These are the topics we are going to cover as part of your hardware asset management. So for HAM or hardware asset management, there are already predefined procurement processes already there. But if you install the asset management plugin, it will be fully automate your procurement process. I'll show you the one by one. So let's go to the practical scenario and see how it works. So in our case, we have to type for the hardware asset management. We have to remember few modules. One is the product catalog. We'll cover all these product catalog models. And secondly, we have to think about the asset. So we have to, another module is the asset module. We are going to cover these two modules today. Okay, so let's go back to the product catalog first. This is the product catalog. As I mentioned that, first we have to discuss about the product category. What is the product category? So product category is suppose I am going to create a laptop, I am going to create a router, I am going to create a desktop. These all are part of the product category. You can see without installing the plugins, these all modules will be visible in your systems. Okay, so if you see the product categories, you can see that there are many product categories already there. 127 product categories there, and these product categories have three most important field. One is the name, which is the categories. Our case, if we discover the computer, so our case, let's talk example of the computer, because computer is a very familiar product, we can say, or asset we can say. Let's take an example. So we will type the product equal to computer, and you can see there are few model categories defined. One is the computer, another is the computer peripheral, computer room, computer AC. We'll first talk about the computer. So this is our computer. What is the CI class? Whenever a computer or asset will be purchased, the one CI and one asset, two things will be created, one CI and one asset. On which table the CI should be created, that is called CMDB, CI computer table, and which table the asset should be created, that is ALM hardware table. Okay, so our case, we are going to create if your model is not there or model category is not there, you should create a model category first. Okay, so your case, I am going to do a experience on the computer, so I do already have a model category, so I don't need to create any model categories for that. Whenever I will create the CI or whenever I procure a assets, the CI will be created to the computer table and asset will be created to the ALM hardware table. So that is the first point we covered, called model categories. Next is that all models. All models means that what types of model I want to purchase. My case, if I talk about that Apple 14 inches laptops, right? So that is kind of a model, right? But what type of model? That is a hardware model. So we have basically a few kind of model. One is the hardware model, service model, software model, facility model, contract model, consumer model, bundle model, application model. These are the separate models. But the most familiar model is the hardware model and the software model. But these are the models available in your ServiceNow. And if you see, there are many models already predefined, created. So our case, our manufacturer is, maybe I'm talking about all Mac. Today we'll talk about the Mac. So let's put that manufacturer is the Apple. So our manufacturer is the Apple, and then I can see there is a 15-inch one model is there. Another model is the Mac Pro 15-inch, 17-inch, 13-inch. But I need a model called 14-inch laptop. So I will define a model as a asset management team. I'll define a hardware model here. I'll simply click new here, because this task will need to be done by hard asset management team. So manufacturer is the Apple I have defined, and then assets I am defining that Mac 14-inch screen, something like that. So this is my name I have defined here. So here in the short description, I am defining that Apple Mac 14 inches screen. And here the very important thing is the model category. We have to define, or we have to choose the model, which types of categories I am going to define. So our case is the computer. I'll select the computer. Okay, so first this model category I have created, or I have checked that this is the model categories, and here I have defined the model. If the model is exist, I should not create it, but let's take an example that this model is recently came, so I have defined that this is the model. Now here we have to define the cost. So what is the cost for this Mac? So we have to define what is the cost for this model. I am defining here $1,000 for this product cost. Okay, let's leave all other fields, but define the cost is what is the cost for that. That is very important. You can make this mandatory for your future enhancement. Next is the depreciation. So every product or every asset have a depreciation. Today I buy a Mac call for $1,000. Tomorrow the depreciation or the resale cost or the cost will be depreciated, right? So that case we need to select the depreciation. Even you can also select that depreciation can be mandatory. So we have, if I click here, by default there is a many depreciation defined. So I will select that depreciation cost is the 5 years. So this depreciation will be defined in your different tables. You can go and check the depreciation cost. So if I open this depreciation in a different tab, let's open this depreciation, what the depreciation is saying. So you can see if I open this depreciation, it have a category called straight line, and here is the written, some script written which is out of box. It means that in 5 years the depreciation, this cost will be zero. The amount will be zero for this Mac, these assets. Okay. So let's save that. Once I save that, you will be notice that the manufacturer and their name will be combined as a display name. The manufacturer and the name will be as a combination of the display name. So let's save that. Once I save that, you can see this manufacturer is Apple and the name is the Mac 14 inches. It is showing as a display name. Now here is the thing, you can see the status. Status is like in production. It means that it can be usable thing right now. So it have no relationship on our flow, but as I mentioned that it is in a production right now. Now if I go to the informations, here what is the height, what is the power consumption it is taking, these are the extra necessary information you can define. Now compatibility, suitability and configuration item, these will be auto detected. You don't need to do that. Next is the product catalog. In the product catalog, you can define the descriptions. So I am just defining that here quickly. So you can see that I have just put some of the descriptions and then click save. So that's it. Our product, our model is defined. It means that today one company launches a new asset or new model. I can go and define on that hardware models here. So this is I have defined here. And always remember, try to make the model name is the unit. Okay. So let's open this one. This is our model. And now if you see the scroll down, there is the assets. Right now there is no assets. And then if I click here, publish to hardware catalog, it will be generated catalog. I am a asset management team, but who as an end user who need this desktop, they should have the catalog item where they can raise for themselves. So I'll click the publish to hardware catalog. It will be generate a catalog item. Before that, I need to define that in which category it should come up. So I'll put that hardware and click OK. So once I click the OK, you can see the product, the one catalog item is generated. So this catalog item is predefined, automatically generated. Whatever the definitions, the model is coming as a, you can see the Apple Mac 14 inches, which is coming from this model table. And this item is auto-generated. We don't need to do anything. So I have just impersonate a Abel tutor, which is an end user, and he might need a laptop or desktop, which is a Mac 14 inches desktop he needed. So what he will go to the service catalog, and then he will know that it is part of the hardware. He will open this hardware category, and he need the Mac 14 inches desktop, so he will open that one and simply order that. Once he ordered that, it means that he is waiting for his Mac, right? So he is waiting for his desktop whenever it will be delivered. But there will be some other process will be involved during this process. Okay, so he need an asset, but this asset might be not be available into the system. Now, as a procurement team, maybe I am the procurement team or asset management team, I should be fulfill this asset management. Okay, so I'll quickly open this RITM here, and you can see in this RITM, if I scroll down, there is a two task is generated. Okay, and if I go back to this one RITM. In the request, you will be able to see there is a one more also task is generated directly to the request. And also you can see there is a purchase tab and the transform tab. These two tabs are available here. So how these things are coming, I'll quickly show you. So you have, for these as an admin, I have already installed the plugin. Otherwise you don't able to see this purchase order or transform order are these two tabs. I have activated one of the plugins. I'll just quickly show you. So you will be able to see, if you search with the asset, you can see there is a one application which is asset management, and if you install this asset management, it will be automatically install the procurement, fixed asset management. These are the module. There are 5 I think 9 application is there. So I have just installed that, which will be give you the automatic process and which will give you the procurement process. Now if I go to this request and open this catalog task here and see, there is a one task is generated to procure, to buy or to decide that to what is that regarding this asset. Before that, you have to think about, once you purchase this asset, somewhere you have to store in some stock room. You have to store that, right? So what I am going to do that, I am as the asset management team, I am going to create a stock room for me. So if you type that inventory, you can see in stock, transport order line. These are the options available. I'll go to the stocks room here, and then these are the stock room is available for the timing. Okay, and if I go to this in stock, these are the stocks are available for the timing. So if I search with that, this the model category is a computer, and here if I search with that Apple, and you can see they are all are related to the 15 inches. There are no related to the 14 inches desktop right now. So what I'm going to do here, for giving you more clarity, I'm going to create a stock room called stock 01. So this is my stock room. Here I have to define that location for the stock room. I'll select the location here, and then I have to define the stock room type, what type of stock room it is. So I'll click that warehouse and save that. So this is my stock room. Here I have just created the stock room, and if you see that there is no hardware, there is no consumable assets, and then software entitlement right now. So in short or in simple, you can say that I have created a stock room. Now this stock room I'll store all my assets. Now going back to the request, and inside the request there was a one task which was in procurement team. I'll click here. You can see there is a one button which is called source request. I'll simply click that. It will open a page, and this page is saying that to be sourced means I have to source one item which is not available right now in my system, and I have to purchase. So I'll click the purchase here, and here I have to select the vendor, and you can see the cost is 1000, and then quantity I can define 5. Although I need the 1, but I'll select the 5 because I need the 5 for future purpose, and I'll click the submit one. So whenever I am clicking that, so you are saying that I am oversourcing because I need the 1, but I am purchasing the 5 items. So that's fine. I know that this is the new model. I need to 5 items. So once I click OK, you can see there will be one purchase order will be generated because I need a desktop. For that, it's generate a purchase order for me. Let's open this purchase order. With this purchase order, you can see this purchase order vendor is the Apple, and where I should ship to that. The ship to is setting as a stock room. It means that I have to ship this order to the stock room 1. Okay, and you can see that the total cost is the 5000 because the per unit cost is 1000 I have defined here. And if you see in the details, it is generated from the request 0010, and then here you can see that this is requested by able tutor. Okay, and this is the requested time. Now if I open this purchase order line items, so this is the request, like you can say the request item, something like that. This is the purchase order, and this is the line item order. You can see the model name is the Apple Mac 14, and then the product catalog is the Mac 14s, and the short description is coming from that our hardware model. And here the state is the request state, quantity is the 5, and then remaining quantity is the 5. Now what we have to do that, we have to click the order. So I am as asset management team, I just ordered that. So now the vendor said that they are ready and they are shipped and they have sent to me. So now I have to receive as a asset management team, I have to receive this order, right? So what I'll do, I'll click the receive button here. And so once I click that, it is saying that per unit cost is the thousands, and then I have received so far is the 5 items. So if you receive the 4 items, you can define here. So I'll just simply define that I have received 4 items. Once you receive the 4 items, you can click that capture asset tag. Here you need to define the asset tag and the serial number for them. This is mandatory for serial number. So I'll put that AST001 asset tag, and the serial number is SR01. And this asset is reserved for someone, so I can define that. Next row, So you can see that for asset I have created an asset tag is 010203 and the serial number is 01020334, and this is reserved for able tutor, and rest I am assigning for myself. And you can see in the bottom it is saying that 4 out of 4 asset are all their details. Click done, and then I'll just click submit. And here you can define that which stock room you are receiving. By default it is coming stock room 001 because we choose during that time. Now click submit order. Now if you see here, you can see this product. Once I receive this one, receipt ship address is generated, and which is nothing but the stock room address, nothing else. If I open that, this is the stock room address, and if I go here in the asset tab, you can see the 4 asset is created 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the assets created, and the model category is the computer. This is their display name, and you can see the 4 configuration item is created. Their name are although same, but they are actually in the same display name, but their CSID is actually different. So now you can see the configuration item is nothing but it is coming as a serial number and their product. So if I open one of these configuration item, you can see it is moving to the computer table, CMDB CI underscore computer table, and then if I open this asset, which is nothing but it is going to that ALM hardware table. Remember in product catalog we mentioned that in the model category, if your model category is the computer, where should we go? We mentioned that if its model category is computer, it should go to the CMDB CI computer and asset should go to the ALM hardware. So that's the reason the CI is created under CMDB CI computer table, and the asset is created to the ALM hardware table. Also, you remember that when the purchase order generated, what purchase order we have defined? We defined the 5, but when we receive, we define the 4. It means that we purchase the 5 item, but we actually receiving the 4 item. Now, if you see here the purchase order line item, if you open this purchase order line item, everything is right now is read only because we already received that, right? And now if I scroll down, you can see that order quantity is the 5 and we received the 4 item, and the remaining 1 item is left. So that item can be delivered later. Now if I go back to this request and click on the catalog task, you can see that catalog task is completed. Now if I open the stock room here, that stock room we have created called stock 001, you will be able to see that there is a 4 hardware is coming up, and if I open any of these assets here, you will be able to see that this asset state is right now in stock and its substate is reserved for as a system administrator. Okay, if I go back to that finance, here you can see that this is generated from this RITM, and this is the cost, vendor is the Apple, and acquire method is the purchase. And if I go to this depreciation, you can see the depreciation is the 5 years depreciation cost. Now what you can do, there are few more tasks is generated inside the RITM. So you can see there is a 2 task is generated called field service and the software service. Field service is for you have to give them asset to them, actual the user. So you can just click here and set the in use. Once you set the in use, you have to set the assign to. Here I can say that able tutor, I am assigning to that able tutor here, and then install in assign is today's date and install in today's date and click save. Once I save that, it means that I am started using this desktop, or the you can say that able tutor started using this desktop. So able tutor started using this desktop, and if you go to this expense line, you can see it is showing that this is the expense line, the $1000 we have used for this one. Now if I go to the depreciations, it is saying that 5-year depreciation. I can calculate the depreciation cost right now. What is the cost for depreciation right now? What is the cost for this asset? I can calculate that. So once I click the calculate depreciation, you can see the depreciation amount is 0 because it's just depreciation affected just is today. If I go back and set few more days here and save and click the calculate depreciation, the cost will be reduced. So let's click the calculate depreciation. You can see till now the depreciation cost is 78 and this is the remaining from the 1000. Okay, so that's how you can assign some asset to user, and finally after that you can close this to RITM from your system. If we open this hardware model and then open the model that we have created, this is our hardware model we have created initially. You can see there is a 4 asset which is created, and these are the asset tag. This is assigned to the able tutor, and this all other configuration item is created for each and every asset. And now if you go to this configuration item tab, you can see these 4 are automatically calculated and added. So that's the way you can create the hardware. You can purchase the hardware and then you can assign to the individual user. Now in the next video we'll talk about the transform order, how we can transform from order from one stockroom to the another stockroom. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you very much. Have a great day. If you guys like my video, please do a like, subscribe, and let me know what type of video you want to see in my channel. Thank you.